Welcome back to the Center Podcast. I got my co-host Mark here. How you feeling today, Mark?
Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good.
It's only been about a 5-minute gap since the last episode, but we're gonna act like it's a new week. What's been happening? A lot has been happening.
I know. I have one thing in mind.
Go ahead.
So in recent news.
Oye, Telemundo.
Let me turn to this camera real quick. So it was said that Bill Cosby has been, that guy has been what was it? He's been free, I guess.
Yeah, he's released. He's at his house.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Released.
He's in Elkins Park because of a mistrial. And, he's free and walking around and ziba-zabbing and pudding pops.
And pudding pops, yeah. Man, it was it was so funny. The one meme I saw was that one meme with, like, Meek Mill when he's running out.
Oh, he's
but they put Bill Cosby's face on it, so he's just like... I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But, yeah, this man's free.
They've been trying to get him out for a minute. It's like, oh, COVID, he might die or all this other shit. No.
Yeah. I mean, at one point it's like, who cares? But at the other point it's like, it's a human being. I
guess
we gotta be like, I guess he somewhat caring.
He wasn't thinking or caring about human beings when he was slipping drugs in their drinks. So
Zubazabazin.
Yeah. So there's that.
Sorry, there's something else I'm thinking of now.
What?
Because it sounded like I said a prescription drug, and I'm thinking of the whole Clifford, the Clifford freaking John.
Oh, and people kept saying like this looks like a commercial for like the antidepressants.
Bro, that shit is so funny. Then they start changing the color, and they made him like blue. I'm like, bro, what is this? Yeah. But anyway, back to Bill Cosby.
My whole thing is like, they're like, it's a mistrial, whatever. So I was like, so they're gonna do another one, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like. Cool, whatever. You found some excuse to say there was a mistrial, but like he's still gonna they still gonna do it again.
They're still gonna try to find justice, right?
Right? It has to be, right?
There has to be some justice, right? They're like, yeah, we're just gonna send him home for some time. But is there a date on the trial? Yeah, but we're just gonna send him home for some time.
TBD,
yeah.
To be determined. It's like, why don't more women come forward with their situations or whatever happened to them? It's like, because y'all just how many people was it? Like 100 people came out. Yeah. They were like, Bill Cosby did something this did this to me. I think he might have slipped something in my drink.
Zuba's out.
It's just like, yeah, he might have. All right, that's not funny. Let me stop. Real people were affected by this. But, that's how I deal with my trauma. I laugh at shit. I make jokes. But that's why we're here, to smile. So he, over 100 women came forward saying that he did something similar or exactly what the original claim was to them. So, isn't there something there?
Yeah. Isn't there some type of, evidence?
I was talking to my parents about it when we found out that he got released, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I give you a pass with one person. If one person comes forward, it's just like, all right, you go through the whole process, and if you find out that you were innocent, then cool, you get that one pass, whatever. But if you get to even 2, but if you get to 100, even if 90 of them are lying, you still raped 10 people.
Yeah, there's still some issue there.
Even if 100 came forward and 99 were lying. You still raped a person. You still deserve to rot in hell.
Yeah.
I don't care what show you were fucking on. I don't care if you claim Temple, Philly, whatever. I wish you weren't from here.
Yeah, I'm like
get out of here. I don't give a damn. It's like, even if, that's what I'm saying, even if people are like, this for money or whatever, it's just even if 50 of them were doing it for money, that's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
My dad was saying, if 100 people say you're smoking crack, you're probably smoking crack. even if a bunch of them are lying.
There's no point. Yeah, if you have all these people saying something, it's most likely true. But you can't just say, let's just turn a blind eye to it.
Even if, which I'm not saying, I believe the people that came forward, but even if all of them were lying, what are you doing that 100 people are saying you raped them? What
Exactly.
you're doing something wrong.
There's no way these people were just randomly.
Even if it's not rape, you're doing something wrong.
at
You're doing
that
these people
point-
dirty. They want to they want to put you
Because
away
at
from
that
it.
point, that's just the Bill Cosby hate community.
And why? Why do they hate you?
Yeah.
It can't be that they hate the show.
Yeah.
'Cause it was-
We hated your
hate the show.
sweaters.
You hate the show that bad. I don't think it was that bad because he had fucking. Also, why haven't any of the have any of the actors come forward?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. Like
We
nobody.
got fucking like what's her name? Was it Lisa Bonet?
I don't think so.
Which is like Lenny Kravitz's wife, also like father of Zoe Kravitz. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
It's like the daughter, I think, in the
Uh-huh.
show. But like she's like still out there. Like the parent, like both of them are still out there. You have like,
Yeah.
yeah, basically the entire cast is out here. Like y'all, me and some of y'all didn't know. That's what the shit that be getting to me. Cause like everybody will say, "Oh, cancel this person." Obviously, like fuck Bill Cosby, right? Or like R. Kelly. But at least for me personally, because we grew up in like the 90s, early 2000s, I used to watch Dave Chappelle. That was almost one of the popular shows out there. And there was this whole running joke that was based on something real videotape that R. Kelly was pissing on a younger woman's face. Cool, right? That's not cool, but like
get you.
we acknowledge
You
it.
acknowledge it that happened. Yeah.
And that show was running like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That was still 20 years of him releasing music, doing collaborations with people.
Doing
People knew
stuff.
about these allegations and nobody did shit.
Yeah.
Everybody made the joke like, oh yeah, like R. Kelly be pissing on like little girls,
Yeah.
and it's not new. Like
Yeah,
this
it wasn't
no,
new,
this
yeah,
was
it was
common
always a thing.
jokes, common knowledge. Now all of a sudden we want to cancel R. Kelly, rightfully so. Fuck him. He deserves to be in jail, and all those people deserve to get like justice for them. But what about all these people that? Because like we're on the outside looking in. These people are like rubbing shoulders, you know, like even if you don't hang out with him, like you're in that circle, so you hear text like, "Oh, did you hear about this?" Like I'm sure there's conversations like that, like
Oh, yeah.
gossip.
Yeah.
So you know this shit is going on, and you still associate yourself with him. And it's not just men, women as well. Like people have been collaborating with this man for 20 some years, and even before the piss thing, there's probably other shit,
Yeah.
and nobody
They
just
didn't-
said or
nobody
did
said
shit.
anything. A lot of the times, you know, they always like, and it's so it sucks to say it, but like a lot of these people just like, you know, how do I say it? Like just stick up for each other because
Yeah.
of like the status they're in and all that, you know.
Which I don't get. Like,
Yeah, it's
if it's
just
fucked
really
up. It's
weird.
fucked up.
It's-
I don't care
yeah.
if it's my own blood, my own family. Like, if you did something crazy like that, like I can't support you.
Yeah, it's-
I don't want you around my family. I'm gonna have a
Exactly.
family someday. I don't want you around them.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. That's probably honestly what it is, you know.
Same thing with the cast of Bill Cosby. And there's probably been people in the past like, oh, like he's a great person. This and that, knowing in the back of their head that there's at
This is
least
the shit he's done.
at least
man.
whispering or like gossip or rumors about certain shit he's probably done. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because even on, and I'm saying that because on a smaller level, like as we know each other, we know people around Philly, or like we know, like we have friends, like we hear things about other people. There's just like, because we're in that circle,
Yeah.
we know who's really doing this, who's really successful, who's really actually doing things the right way. Like we know who's cutting corners, who's not. So for like that situation, I know they hear about that shit. Nobody gonna talk about that.
Nobody gonna talk about it.
Everybody's just like, oh yeah, cancel this person, but all the people that associated with him, he's cool. Or like with Tory Lanez, like there's this whole thing that Megan's upset with the baby because he made a song with Tory Lanez. It's just like, oh, like we were friends, we were on Double XL together as freshmen. Like we came up kind of at the same time. Like why are you associating yourself with this guy who shot me if we're supposed to be friends? Like if somebody shoots you, I'm not fucking with them. Like
Yeah.
does that shit seem kind of fucked up.
It does. No, it does. Yeah. There's a lot of shit like that. Yeah. Especially if you like, you know, like she said, oh, you know, we came up together, you know, like, and again, it's just that idea that some people just all they see is something else, I guess, at the end of the line. And that's why they don't want to, like, I guess, burn the
Money.
bridge. Yeah. I was going to say money, but a lot of times, you know, connections and all that. So that's kind of like what it is. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't last that long in like super fame because if I hear anything like that, like
yeah.
I can't just be in the room quiet about it.
I'd
Like,
definitely be probably like, not
wouldn't be
really
able to-
somewhat, not somewhat like snitching at first.
Oh, I'm snitching.
Well, no, I'll definitely
I'm a
get to
snitch.
it. I'll definitely get to.
Look at me in my eye, Mark. I'm a snitch when it comes to that shit.
No, definitely. If it's like something serious, I would do it right away. But if it's something like something small, I'll probably be like instantly just like start talking to people like, yo, like what the fuck is this person doing? And then eventually when I start, if they like agree or they know something even more about it, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, all right, so y'all knew about this?
Exactly.
All right, cool. I'm never hanging out with y'all again.
Exactly. Like, what the
Don't hit me up for no features. Don't hit me up for no movie roles.
Because y'all do something.
Y'all can go to hell.
Y'all do some different shit here. Bro, what?
That shit blew my mind. Because like, it's like, where do you draw the line?
Mm-hmm. To them, I guess until you get caught.
Yeah,
honestly,
like until it can reflect on you.
Because then a lot of the times, then as soon as something happens where it gets caught, they instantly cut those ties. To like, oh shit, he got caught.
And it's not even about the fact that he did those things. It's just the fact that it came out and it's looking bad on him, and they don't want the same shit.
Exactly.
So it's not even about that.
Exactly.
Same thing with the R. Kelly shit.
So
like when they did the whole, was it like Surviving R. Kelly? What was the name of that documentary thing?
Yeah, it was something.
Where all those women came forward, and they were just like, oh, like even people in the industry, I think, that were on there like saying that they were like a victim of R. Kelly. That they were saying that there's people that like would hear about it and just turn a blind eye to it. And one of the names they listed was Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle like did a special or like on Netflix, and he brought it up of like how they brought my name up, and he's like, I've never really been around him. He said he's like the only he went in details like this. The only interaction I had with him was this, and that was about it. But like he said, like I was just saying, it's like people hear shit. Like you hear shit.
Yeah, you hear shit. So what are you gonna do? You're just not gonna talk about it. I mean, you talk about it, but again, he probably didn't know. Actual like he wasn't there. He didn't hear from other people. He heard from other people, but he didn't get like actually word of mouth from the person. So he was just like, he just heard shit. So he talked about it, but he didn't know if it was true or not, probably. But the idea, again, like you said, if there's like multiple people saying this shit, and now like, a lot of people know about it, it's like, okay, so something's
there has to be some truth.
It can't just be some shit that somebody just decided to, start up, and especially something like that. Like it'd be different if somebody says something like, "Oh, like this man still fucking sucks his thumb" or something like that.
Yeah,
you're just like, okay, well,
that's just dumb shit. Like that that doesn't affect anybody else. So I don't care if it's true or not.
Say some other shit like he's over here pissing somebody. It's just like that's literally all the way up here to the point where if you hear like two people talking about that, you're just like, okay, it has to be true. Like what? So yeah. Yeah, these people getting out because of money and
that's all it was. There was no way that they was keeping that man in jail the whole time.
Yeah.
He's too famous and too rich. And there's people out there openly like still being like, "Oh, he's free, like good."
Yeah,
like Lil Duval was on some nut shit. He was just like, "Oh, like it really is a hot boy summer because Bill Cosby out." And then like one of the rappers I listened to, he's from Dreamville, Jid. He just replies like, "Yo, you lame as shit." Like he like quoted his tweet like, "You lame as shit for this. Like shut the fuck up."
Yeah. It's just stupid. Like, bro, what are you doing? Try to find any type of news or anything to make a joke out of it, and then you're just a lot of people like that, and a lot of people now, I guess I would say, don't like give a shit about it or have no kind of like, consideration or any type of feelings to it. They're just like, oh, who cares? Like, I'll just make a joke out of it. Like, they're not actually concerned about the idea behind any of it. They're
the
just,
clout. They're just trying to.
Yeah, that's all they're chasing. It's a shame.
Yeah. It's been a bad week for men though, or a bad couple weeks for men, I guess, because it's just Bill Cosby. I had my phone written out with like shit that I wanted to bring up, but like it's on the camera right now because the other one was messing up. But it was Bill Cosby. Did you see this shit yesterday or the day before? I think in like New Jersey. I was like in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, like not that far from here.
Yeah, and I didn't hear about it though.
But there's this like I guess it was like an apartment complex or like a building like I guess like a community or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like houses, I think. Yeah. But there was this man, it was on Twitter, I could show it to you later, but there was this man, I was like, he had a history of like terrorizing or like being stalkerish or like just harassing his neighbors, like primarily black people. And in the video, there, at least in this case, there was previous cases, but in this one, he was outside. I didn't see what caused it beforehand, but he was just like, it was I guess an older couple or just like, it was the guy that was arguing with the white man. It was just like the son, I think, defending his parents. They're probably like in their 50s or 60s. And the guy was just like, oh, like, I don't want to see you doing this. It's just a bunch of yelling. I couldn't make out why they were arguing.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where like the son was like, yo, like, please, like, yo, just get off of my step. Like, this is my parents. Like, what? I don't give a fuck. Whatever the fuck y'all arguing about. Like, just go away from my house. Like, I don't, like, please leave. And he's just, like, recording them or whatever and just being weird. And then it just gets to the point where they're just arguing or whatever. And he steps to the son. And he just kind of pushes him back. And he just automatically turns like, oh, like, you touched me. Like, oh, I'm calling the police. I'm pressing charges. You touched me or whatever.
Lame.
And that keeps happening. But then it just gradually gets to the point where he just starts yelling slurs at him or just being like the N-word or monkey and all this other crazy shit. And, yeah, so that it's basically like a long running thing of that, and him just being like, please, yo, just leave. Like, I don't give a fuck what your problem is. Like, just leave. And he keeps yelling those slurs. And you know, like, when you're a kid and someone gets in trouble or some shit, and like usually like in a classroom, all the initial reactions like, ooh. Yeah. So this is what happened when I was watching the video. So he's yelling at him, saying all these slurs, and like there's another. So somebody who's unrelated to the situation is recording for everybody, like to just so you can see what's going on because he was acting crazy. And the person who was recording was black too. So he's just yelling. He's like, oh, both of you guys, both of you N-words, whatever, y'all get out of here. You don't belong here, whatever. And he's like, oh, like, this is exactly what happened with the last person who lived here because I guess they were black as well. And there's like a woman that, like, her story was out there too. And, yeah, so he was just saying all that shit. And he's like, both of y'all got to get out of here. The cops come. But before the cops come, he's just yelling, like, yeah, like, y'all keep recording me, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I live at such and such, whatever way. Come see me. And as soon as he said that, I said, ooh, he about to die. Yo, he said his fucking address. He said, come see me. Come see what I'm really about. And what happened? People came to see him. A lot of people came to see him. And we're outside his house. And what's corny as well is because this man is known to be having a series of, like, actions where he does this to his neighbors and to people of color. And they didn't get any protection. But as soon as these people came to see him, there was cops lined out outside the front door protecting him in his house. And, you know, they were just outside playing music, like saying, like, come outside. They made signs. They're just, you know.
I feel like I did see something about that.
Yeah.
Actually, now I think about it.
And he finally comes out, and as he's getting arrested and, like, getting pulled into his car, they just started throwing shit at him and, like, hitting him with the Black Lives Matter flag and just having a good old time with it.
I was about to say, so, like, he's doing all this shit, not getting arrested, but the cops are protecting him. That's I was about to say. I was like, that's so fucking.
Because the cop pulled up and he was like, hey, like, he walked up. He's like, oh, let me just talk to the family, whatever. And he was like calling them. He's like, do you guys mind? Like, we'll go to the side and we'll talk real quick, see what's going on. Trying to talk to the parents. And as the cop's trying to do that, like, the guy's just like, oh, like, still throwing slurs at them, whatever. And the cop's still just like, oh, like, Terry, I forget his name. It's not Terry, but he's like, oh, Terry, can you, like, chill? Like, let me just talk to them. He's like, Terry, come on, like, stop it. Come on, Terry. Like, you don't have to do this. Stop. Calm down. Just go back to your house. Just letting that shit slide. Like,
yeah, I would have went straight, like, rocked them. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, how, like, can you not? Bro, like, I just told you I'm going to talk to them. You're literally making shit worse.
And he's just being annoying, too, of just, like, because he was telling him to get off his, like, front porch or whatever. And he's like, oh, you have no jurisdiction here. This is common ground right here. Right here, I'm allowed to stand here. This is common ground. You have no jurisdiction here. And the cop got there. He's like, oh, you have no jurisdiction here. Like, you can't do anything. I'm just like, yo, like, you're just somebody who need to get fucking popped in the mouth.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
just one time.
The idea that, like, bro, like, I don't think there's any law where it's just like, bro, I can just punch you if I want. I mean, like, yeah, I guess you can, like, I don't know.
You can't, though, at least, especially in Jersey. If supposedly there's, like, no, like, self-defense thing at all. Like, if you do anything, you're in trouble. And especially as a person of color, like, you can't. All that man had to do was, oh, this man just punched me in the face, and it's over for that guy.
True. Right?
So unfortunately, people of color kind of have to have, like, way more constraint or restraint than normal people would have to, or not normal people, but white people.
Yeah, definitely not normal. Should all be the same, but. That's what we're dealing with.
Oh, and then the other thing that I just remember now, speaking of racist, is the people that were walking around Philly on the 4th of July. Did you see that too? There was a group of white supremacists walking around Philly with white masks and shields, chanting that they wanted to reclaim America.
Well, it's not gonna happen. Sorry.
I don't know what reclaim what. Nothing has changed. Y'all still y'all still technically run this shit. Like
basically,
it's still in your favor. What are you trying to reclaim?
We have like maybe 20% while y'all have 80. like nothing's changed. Like really.
Yeah, I'll share all that stuff with you. Then they're like some in Philly. Some of them got like chased down though. Like they were like just running them out of there.
Like I just don't get it.
Just yelling crazy ass
You walk
slurs.
outside. You do this, and you expect what? Nothing to happen. You expect to make some type of like model of yourself that people are going to follow you. Like the idea, like yeah, maybe most likely there will be some, but it's like, bro, like the idea that you think that you're doing this is going to do anything, or you think you're actually like you have this idea that oh yeah, we're going to have everybody that we see follow right behind us. Like no, what the hell? I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and then the news were just like, oh, like we don't know why they decided to do this today. All this stuff. I'm like, you mean to tell me that you're a Philadelphia news reporter,
yeah,
and you're telling me that you don't understand why on July 4th,
yeah,
they're coming back, and the people were driving out from like Texas and like all those places to come here to do it, to come specifically to Philadelphia on July 4th. You didn't understand why they came here at all?
It makes perfect sense why. Jeez.
July 4th, 1776. Does that ring any bells? 76ers. Nothing's ringing a bell here. You hear every fucking day.
Still don't know, man.
Why? I wasn't born back then. Why are you bringing that up to me?
Why? What the hell? What does history got to do with anything?
No, I didn't. I'm a reporter. I don't need to.
I didn't get my degree in history. Okay. It's like, well, yeah, clearly.
Shit was so dumb.
Yeah.
Why? What are you trying to reclaim? Y'all still run this shit. And the shit I was like trying to tell my parents, I'm like, and how much you want to bet that in that group, when they were wearing masks, there's probably nurses and like firefighters and policemen and all this other shit in there.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing. A lot of these people you don't expect. They're people.
I expect it.
Well, no.
My other people don't expect, but I fully.
Yeah.
I'm fully
these
like
people are people in these positions that are
of power or have people's lives in hands.
Yeah, lives in hands, and you're just like
teachers. Like even then, like not a good week.
Yeah, it's been pretty devastating.
And then the whole fires thing that we were talking about before we cut on the cameras of just like water being on fire. Let me say that one more time for y'all at home. Water was on fire because of oil spills in the Gulf of Mexico. I think that was the section of water that was in. And then there was another one like days after of like an explosion or something. But like the place that they had the original oil fire or whatever, it was just like they're like the 7th most dangerous like oil company in the world, and like they're like they've had like bunch of things like this happen. It's just like, why are y'all letting this happen? I'm pretty sure I remember a couple years ago or like a year ago, whatever, there was like arguments of like not allowing them to open up more oil like plants in the Gulf of Mexico, and I think in Alaska as well that they were worried about that. It's like, this is why. We just had like 3 heat warnings in a week.
Yeah,
it's been 100 and something degrees. Get a hint. Like, why are y'all like? The facts are right. I'm getting upset. The facts are right there.
Yeah.
Why no comprendo? Why do you not see that there's an issue here? Really? Why is it getting hotter every year? Every single year we beat our record of like highest level of like heat. Mm-hmm. Every winter the snow is like less and less. December's be warm as shit. That shit don't bother y'all. Y'all don't think what is your reasoning? Why do you think it's happening?
Bro, it's
numbers, data, science, that shit just don't be doing nothing for you.
It's I'm trying to find something to say. But
I'm trying to.
I couldn't even imagine what somebody would think it would be.
I'm trying to understand, Mark. I really am.
No, I am too, and I'm trying to think of what somebody would say that goes around all of that.
And then I also saw. I'm sorry, but there's so much shit. Y'all white folk, y'all really getting on my nerves this week. Or I know there's some chilling ones out there, but but the ones that stand out are really grinding my gears. I just seen this video this morning that there was this is like a known guy, like he's like a known, or people call him like white supremacist, and he gets like this crazy platform for no reason. I've seen him in other videos before, but somebody there was like a news reporter. He was just talking to him. and they had him on to just let him talk so they can like just make him look stupid, hopefully. Okay. And he's just like, yeah, like I don't know what caused it before, but he was just kind of like for example, Egyptians aren't black, they aren't African. And then the news reporter is black. He's just like, he got like me. He's just like, where is Egypt located? And then the guy's like, Africa. And then he's like, yeah, but they're not like African. Just like, what does that mean? And then he was just like, oh, like South Africans are African. He's just like, yes, they are. Yeah, like, yes, they are.
You can't just gonna take their freaking location and just say they're not African.
And then the only argument, he's just like, oh, they're not African, meaning that they're not dark-skinned or they're not black. The only reason that is the case is because if you know your fucking history and apartheid and all that other shit, they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, they're not.
And ever since then, they haven't had good water and shit.
And that's why shit is fucked up so much over there.
Explain that.
Well, you see, Victor.
Explain to me why, if Egyptians are white, why can't white people withstand 15 minutes of good sunlight without burning up and looking like the chair that I'm sitting on? Explain that to me, Mark.
You see, Victor, we call their skin white, and I don't know. Because like I'm thinking about it and I'm like, if you really think about it, black really attracts more sunlight, but yet they're white, and somehow they still attract a lot more sunlight than they should.
They can't even withstand it.
Yeah.
It's so much sunlight that they can't hold it all in at once.
Yeah, they can't. I don't know what to say.
I don't know, man. He's just so serious. Like, he believes himself when he was having this conversation. I'm just like, there's no getting through to you. Like, and that's a sign of stupidity, of just like people that aren't willing to change their viewpoint.
Yeah,
that's a
they
sign
don't have
of
an open
stupidity.
mind. And
yeah,
it's like that's just crazy to think. Like, from what you're saying, the idea of like, it's so crazy that there's like people like him are out there thinking like this world started with only like, you know, white people, and somehow there was probably this one thing that went wrong, and they think they're bringing the idea of like people with darker skin is the problem. Mm-hmm. Like.
And the main reason he brought up is because he said that white people built the pyramids in Egypt.
No.
Just no.
No. Yeah, no. There's no way. Like, don't go and take their hard work. Don't change it. Don't try to take.
And I also want to add that at the same time that these people that built the pyramids, they were in slave work.
Enslaved, yes. They were also enslaved. I'm not even going to try to say credit.
Yeah,
that shouldn't even have happened. You know, freaking people was slave literally their whole life, and that was literally the only way they could survive. Really, you know what I'm saying? And half the time they died while being like, enslaved. Like, it was. Yeah. Terrible.
Somebody commented on the videos like, white people created everything. White people swear they created everything except slavery or racism.
Yeah. Basically.
They want credit for everything else but that.
But the thing they're literally causing. Like the thing they started. The main thing they started. If y'all want credit, y'all can slap your name right on there. Yeah. On that, because I'll let you have that.
Why are those people allowed to reproduce?
I don't know.
That's my question.
Well,
it should be illegal.
Well, it's really the upbringing, you know.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But like, if they have more, they're gonna give them that upbringing. Yeah. So if we just slowly just give them their own country, just let them all be racist in one place. Like, what's one like? Give them Alaska. That's where they're from. That's where they be at anyway. They used to that. They thrive in that nature. Just like, even I know there's native people that live there and shit. But like, hey, if we could like convince you to just like, we'll give you good land and shit. Like, we'll give you your own shit. But just let all these pieces of shit just live there.
Well, all those people, yeah.
Like that whole like wasn't. I'm okay. Wasn't there a whole thing that like, not now, but like way back in the day, that like Australia was like an island of like prisoners from like the UK or some shit like that.
Said. They said some shit where it was like, basically that a lot of that. Wow, am I okay? Basically that they took prisoners and stuff like that, like you said, from the UK or maybe other places as well. But there was like a prison in Australia, like you said, and that's where they like held a lot of people. And a lot of the times they like there was also like no record or something of it, like of them or the place, because like nobody knew and shit like that. Mainly because Australia is like some place a lot of people don't even usually go to because it's so far out and not people know about it. But yeah, that's what they also said for that. So.
Can we get this back to something like that? Then just like build a wall around them.
Don't let them get out.
Yeah, let them figure it out. Yes. What made me bring that up is the fact that I just finished like what's left of the show right now. But like I know there's still like another half to come out. But then there's just like that whole thing of like spoiler alert where what's his name? The guy with the glasses, Zeke's plan of just like using Aaron to basically make everybody infertile so they can like slowly die out. It's like, can we like do something kind of like that?
Do that and just have them on the island. And
we'll give them a chance. We'll be like, we'll put them there. Like, all right, you have a chance to change their ways. But if not,
you're just gonna.
If you want to stick to your plan, we're gonna give you this brand new island that's just for you guys. You guys can thrive and live how you want to.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully they don't thrive.
They get the
Hopefully they don't.
They get the world that they want.
Because that's not what I want them to do, where we think that they won't and then somehow they do. So we got to make sure they don't. We take something, though. Let's not give them everything.
Electricity.
Basically,
make them start from the beginning.
Let's make them seem like, if y'all can get through this,
let them create their own reality. Because that's basically what happened in Attack on Titan, where like everybody inside the walls believed that there was just nothing out there.
So let's let them think. Let's like erase their memory and drop them all there and see what happens.
Yeah. Use the comment section as a petition. Sign your names.
Let's build a big ass boat. Find an island
and push them somewhere else.
Yeah. Let's find a big ass boat to let them hear this and. No, get on it. I feel like it will be pretty good. Hey, look, y'all don't like us. We don't like y'all. So let's just make it easier and y'all can just get on the boat. And
make it better. Give them a planet.
Hey, if Elon can make something fast enough, send them away somewhere else.
Castaways.
Actually, no. How about we go to a different planet?
Because true, because this one's kind of fucked. But I don't know. But like, we could send them to one that like, they can like inhabit, but like not fully. Like they can only last for a certain amount of time or something. Because there's something that's like, oh, like humans could like take the atmosphere, but there's like not enough water or something. Send them to one of those. Like after it runs out, like they can.
So we're basically just sending them to a place that will eventually just fail anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
At least with those people, we can like try to fix what's going on here.
But not really though, because there is a difference between racists and people who just don't believe in,
that's true. That's a little harsh.
Natural causes.
That's a little harsh.
Natural causes.
Natural resources and the environment.
That's different,
The racists can get the planet or the island or something. I don't know.
Yeah. When it comes to the planet though, it's two different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think. Mark, where can they find you?
You can find me Instagram, EDC Marky Mark, Twitter Marky Mark, Twitch MC Marky Mark. Victor, where can they find you, and etc.
Find me at Instagram and Twitter and everything else at ETC Victor. Etc. stuff is at real etc. The email is real.etc@gmail.com. Sorry, I'm losing it today. It's the Cosby. But that's everything. If you want to say anything, Mark, before we get out of here.
Stop being fucking racist. We want to live in a world of peace. And if y'all don't agree with that, and I'm talking to you, racist, y'all can find your island.
And if you have to say to yourself, I'm not racist, you probably are.
Yeah.
I'm not racist.
I have this.
Why do you always make it everything about race? It's because y'all started it, okay?
Yeah. Why do you think? If you ever think about who you're related to, or relatives, or
your Uncle Rick,
or grandparents,
you're scared to talk to about like current events at Thanksgiving because he might go off the rails a little bit. That's why.
Rick.
Rick. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.